5 days after the rape and murder of a young woman doctor at Kolkata's RG Medical Hospital, there's no end to the protests. Doctors continue to be on the streets demanding justice for the victim. Accused Sanjay Roy is in CBI custody. Even his questions are being raised on the alleged lapses in the probe so far. The High Court no less pointed them out while pulling up the state government. But amidst the outrage, TMC leader Kunal Ghosh mocked the protest, calling it a drama. Another TMC leader, who's a state minister too, Udayan Guha, made a sexist remark while referring to a planned protest, saying don't call them at midnight when your husbands beat you up. Let's now remind you of the brutality that the victim was subjected to. She was raped, her neck was snapped, her face smashed before she was murdered. But yet, the police chose to register it as an unnatural death case. The police did not even record the statement of the RG Medical College principal Sandeep Ghosh, who's been sent on long leave now, and a former staffer of the RG Medical College who's now claimed that the principal could have been the mastermind behind the entire incident.
वो बहुत ही करप्टेड आदमी है, मतलब एक माफिया राजा बोल सकते हैं। मैंने अपनी पूरे कैरियर में इतना गंदा इंसान नहीं देखा। वो सब एक मास्टरमाइंड उनका प्लान है, ये भी उनका एक प्लान था, ये आई वश और कुछ नहीं। और फिर जो है 8 घंटे के अंदर उनको नेशनल मेडिकल कॉलेज का प्रिंसिपल पोस्ट दिया गया।
Allegations by former staffer have given fresh ammo to BJP to corner the Mamata government over inaction in the case and a possible attempt to save other culprits. Listen into these allegations.
आरजीकर में सुशांतो राय, डायरेक्टर ऑफ मेडिकल एजुकेशन एंड डॉक्टर ओभिक दे, वो दोनों किस काम के लिए उस दिन सुबह गया था? एविडेंस डिस्ट्रॉय करने के लिए। वी वांट रेजिग्नेशन ऑफ द चीफ मिनिस्टर।
हमारी सरकार, पश्चिम बंगाल की सरकार जो है, ममता बनर्जी की जो सरकार है, वो सरकार किसी को बचाने की कोशिश में लगी हुई है। इसमें मुझे लगा कि मुख्यमंत्री जी की कोशिश था कि पुलिस के द्वारा इन्वेस्टिगेशन को डिले कराया जाए। तो जितना समय जाता है, बायोलॉजिकल स्पेसिमेन की या बायोलॉजिकल जो प्रूफ रहता है एविडेंस की, उसकी लाइफ खत्म होती जाती है।
कि एक होती है इनकी चुप्पी की चुभन, जो देश की जनता के कानों में तो गूंज ही रही है, लेकिन ये चुप नहीं रह रहे। कुछ नेता तो इसमें जाकर इन दोषियों को, इन पापियों को संरक्षण करने का भी पाप कर रहे हैं। इस सब की जवाबदेही इंडियन अलायंस के नेताओं की बनती है।
क्राइम सीन, एक वरिष्ठ अधिवक्ता होने के नाते आपको बता दूं, जो पहले 48 घंटे होते हैं ये सबसे महत्वपूर्ण होते हैं एविडेंस कलेक्शन के लिए, फोरेंसिक जांच के लिए। और ममता बनर्जी ने ट्रांसफर कर दूंगी कुछ दिनों के बाद। तो ममता बनर्जी, आपसे यह सवाल है, कुछ दिनों के बाद क्यों? तुरंत क्यों नहीं?
Meanwhile, leader of opposition in the Lok Sabha, Rahul Gandhi, has finally broken his silence. Without naming his ally, the TMC, he said that an attempt to save the accused instead of providing justice to the victim raises serious questions about the hospital and the local administration. There's breaking news coming in as far as Mamata Banerjee is concerned. In fact, the CBI has begun probing the Kolkata horror, and Mamata has set a deadline for CBI to finish the probe and ensure hanging by Sunday. That's the statement coming in from West Bengal Chief Minister.
You're watching the News Hour at 10, debate number 2 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
And joining us on the show, we have Priyanka Tibrewal, spokesperson of the BJP. Also joining us at the moment is Saira Shah Halim, author and activist. Professor Monajit Mandal, leader of TMC, is with us. Arka Kumar Nag is a lawyer and political analyst. Dr. Anand Ragnathan continues with us from debate number 1. Let me start first and foremost with Professor Monajit Mandal. Professor Monajit Mandal, what exactly does Mamata Banerjee mean when she says that there should be a hanging by Sunday? Would the Kolkata police have ensured that? Would the courts in Kolkata have ensured that? I mean, it's one thing to get emotional and, demand answers, so on and so forth. But surely one has to be a little logical, especially when one is in such a responsible position as that of the Chief Minister.
What is your take on this? Do you want justice for this girl, that victim of unspeakable brutality? It's quite simple. As outraged as anybody in this country is, the CM is also the same way, similar way. It's quite natural for her to show emotion. In fact, from the very first day itself, Mamta went to the hospital, met the family of the victim, and she tried to ensure justice. Kolkata police could get barely 36 hours to probe, and within the 34 hours, they nabbed one of the principal accused. 34 suspects have been interrogated, 16 were in the pipeline. What is the CBI doing in the last 36 hours? CBI, the case got by yesterday afternoon by 2 p.m. What has the CBI done? You are talking about there are so many suspects. Have the CBI even interrogated one particular suspect? Or who is now watching up the case? To the best of their abilities,
Mandal, when did the CBI take over the case? One second. Professor Mandal, when did CBI take over the case? When did the CBI take over the case? You said 36 hours.
Yesterday.
36 hours.
Yesterday afternoon.
Sir, this morning they have taken over the case. Yesterday there was a High Court order.
CBI took the case.
No. Professor Mandal, one second. Let's not be economical with the truth. I can understand it's a political debate.
Hang on.
No, it's okay. Professor Mandal, please calm down. It is a High Court order that came yesterday. The CBI team today took over this case, sir. Let's not change facts. Let's not twist the truth. I understand it's a tough question I've asked you, but let's also put the facts in order. And let me bring in Priyanka Tibrewal, spokesperson of the BJP. She can respond to your claim that it's been 36 hours, says Mr. Mandal, that the CBI was allowed to take over the case. Where are the suspects that they have got? Where has the investigation reached? And Mamta Banerjee is just incensed, and that's why she's saying there should be a hanging by Sunday. Please respond to that, Priyanka Tibrewal.
By the Chief Minister, whereas Mr. Manojit Mandal right now, he said that one of the accused, so that means that there are more than one accused. So the CBI is investigating into it and they will reach to the bottom, whatever is there. Whatever is we are seeing by the naked eye, I think there is much more behind this. Otherwise, why this kind of hate? From the very beginning, we have seen the kind of hate coming from now, which started from the police, whether they called it a murder, whether they called it a suicide, whether they said that unnatural death, but they never said rape. Although we now understand from what things are coming out that it is not just a case of rape, but a case of gang rape. So there are more than one accused, and they think that everyone should be hanged by Sunday. CBI has to find out. Now see, what duty they were doing, what the police was doing, the place where the crime occurred, they did not even seize that place. And now he is expecting that CBI should come out with everything in 24 hours. See, this is nothing but the tactics to shift the burden and show that, the CBI is not doing anything. You never wanted CBI to come in because many other things will come out. See, this is not just a coincidence that in the same hospital in the year 2021, another incident which we had heard was that a doctor committed suicide from the terrace of the same hospital. Now, whether that was a suicide or that was a murder, or there are many other mysterious things which are behind this incident which has taken place. So everything, there has to be a thorough investigation and things need to come out. What was the hate for them to go for a renovation in the same place where the crime took place rather than seizing? So what kind of duty was the police doing?
Respond to that. Professor Mandal, respond to that. Here is the BJP asking you a question. What's the urgent need for renovation? Why was there a case of only unnatural death registered? Why was the crime scene not protected? Are the individuals being protected by the person? The principal within 4 hours, the High Court has asked, why is this person being given a sudden notice if this is a punishment posting? When you're actually supposed to take action against an individual against whom his deputies have now raised serious questions as to whether he has a role in the cover-up. Why is such a person receiving this kind of patronage?
Can I answer? First of all, the previous speaker is quite heinously known for spreading lies on TV. I am not going to respond to her. about the suicide in 2021.
There are many other things that you are known for, Mr. Mandal.
One by one. Okay.
Suicide. Please, yeah. Madhav, this is not the way to conduct a debate. Please ask her to stop. If they are very confident about these things, let them investigate and nab the culprits by Sunday. That's what I'm saying. CBI is the all-powerful tool system of investigation in this country.
One by one, please. Priyanka, let him make his point. You can respond to it.
This is not done. I do not even wish to pity her for interrupting me, because she is on the wrong side. If the CBI is so powerful, have the CBI even interrogated this person that you are referring to? By now, if he is the main suspect, main culprit, according to the false and absolutely malicious information that you are spreading about the government of West Bengal, have the CBI investigated into the case? Have they even inquired into the role of this person that you are referring to? By now, even if it is 12 hours, not 36 hours, how many hours you take to interrogate even a single person, Mr. Madhav and Priyanka Tibrewal? The fact remains that our focus is absolutely clear. Mamta has called for a rally day after tomorrow. Please, oh my God, this is the way they
No, Professor Mandal, you know, this is absolutely insensitive. You know, it's absolutely insensitive that after 3 to 4 days of the police, the Kolkata police being unable to investigate this case, you expect the CBI to crack it in 12 hours. I mean, obviously, you have great expectations of the CBI. That's understandable. But whether your accusations really are fair, and you know, let me get in a response from some of the other panelists on this. Sarah Shahilim, is that a fair expectation? What the Kolkata police couldn't do in 3 to 4 days, the CBI should have done in 12 hours. They should have delivered it all.
See, the comments made by Mamata Banerjee is laughable. I mean, it's all political posturing. How can you hang somebody by this Sunday? I mean, isn't there a legal process in place? So let's not take it very seriously. Let's take the whole sequence of events. We need to understand that this incident happened between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. Why did the hospital get to know about this incident only after 11:30? Around, say, by noon they got to know. Now, why were the hospital authorities, a government hospital, in such a tearing rush to declare this unfortunate, very, very tragic episode a suicide? It was not death by suicide. It was death by absolutely, horrific bestiality, and what is suggestive is that it could not, that the person who has come up as a main perpetrator of the crime seems to be a political recruit. Because if you look at the vaginal swab, of the victim, the post-mortem report suggests that there was 151 mg of liquid from the vaginal swab. And the way, the brutality in the manner that she was attacked, the bruises, the bleeding in her eyes, also her vagina, and everything else indicates that there was more than one person involved. Secondly, now the principal of this institution, I mean, is he going to be reprimanded or is he going to be rewarded? Within hours of this finding, when there was a major, flare-up in the city, he was merely transferred to another prestigious institution. So now there is a question mark because firstly, the main accused was again a contractual employee with the Kolkata police. He was again getting 12,000 rupees. Now, who are the people who are involved? Because here, I think the establishment, the government, the Trinamool government have done a very, very shoddy job.
Well, it's not just a shoddy investigation over here. Sarah Shahilim, there are serious questions. And I want to bring in Arka Kumar Nag, who's a lawyer and a political analyst. There are, of course, legal questions as far as the investigation, as far as the government's accountability is concerned, Mr. Nag. But what is very shocking is that there is a midnight protest where people across political ideologies are supposed to attend. And then you have shocking statements coming in from someone like Mr. Udayan Guha, who says, don't go out at night to avoid husband's torture. There is Mr. Kunal Ghosh, who first tweets and calls it a drama. Then he says that my comments have been twisted out. I never use the word drama. This is absolutely shocking insensitivity. You're actually victim shaming. You're shaming those who are coming out to protest against such a huge injustice.
Well, I am absolutely in favor of the protest which is going on, because any kind of atrocity on women is not acceptable, and there cannot be any cover up of what the principals lack in actions have taken place. The principal should have been more responsible and should have been more pragmatic in the work designated to him. And the court has accepted that, the court has acknowledged it, steps have been taken, and I believe further steps will also be taken. That is part one. Second part is, so far as the protest today, which is going on, or which will be starting for now, please try to understand that the administration, so far as I can see from various media channels, is in absolute support, so that there is no difficulty in the protest. It is a generic protest, it is a citizens' movement, and we welcome it. Any kind of atrocity in women cannot be accepted.
So do you condemn Mr. Udayan Guha and Mr. Kunal Ghosh on national television? Yes or no, Mr. Nag?
I am not, if they have said so, I do not support that. I stand by what Shukendu Shekhar Rai, a member of parliament of our of Trinamool Congress, have said, who said that mentally I am in the protest.
We've seen the tweet. He put out his tweet around the same time or a little later last night. But let me bring in Karunanandi on that. Karunanandi, you have a section of the leaders of Trinamool Congress saying, we are incensed, we're going to participate in the protests. You have another section of people saying, you know, it's all drama. Don't go out at night to avoid husband's torture. Panelists on this particular show, of course, distancing from it. But isn't this in very, very poor taste for a party which is ruling in the state, should be taking more accountability? There are serious questions of accountability over here. And look at the kind of commentary coming in. Karunanandi.
I think taste, unfortunately, reflects a larger problem. And the larger problem is this, is that when you don't find accountable the head of the institution who doesn't file the FIR immediately, and that's a huge problem, right? Because there's that golden hour of evidence, particularly in violent cases like these where evidence can deteriorate. Then you wonder why that person was not dismissed, why he was reinstated, or at the very least, why was an inquiry not begun? So I think that when we ask, should this inquiry be done within 36 hours, or should this CBI finish within 12 hours, I think, honestly, that's the wrong question. I think the bigger question is this. Why was this young woman being forced after a 36-hour shift to sleep in the seminar? Now, clearly, there's a structural problem in terms of facilities. Larger than that is that on what basis are you employing contractual workers with the police? On what basis are you hiring the police? This is a problem in West Bengal, but this is obviously also a problem across the country. When we look at the central government's response, and the central government is, being all the crusader for justice here. Today, the Ministry of Health met a federation of doctors, and the pictures are laughable. They're all men. Why have the AIIMS students joined the Kolkata medical professionals? Why have AIIMS doctors joined them? Why have doctors across the country joined them? Because there is a massive problem here. Tomorrow, they could be sexually assaulted in their own hospitals. Why are other people also joining them? Why is this becoming a countrywide protest? Because this issue has happened in a state, and I am ethnically Bengali, which is proud of its feminist traditions, which is proud of the absence of violence against women. And the fact that you can have this kind of gang rape by somebody who's associated with the police, I think speaks to a much, much bigger problem. A problem not solved by the death penalty, a problem that is not solved necessarily by transferring it to a CBI inquiry, a problem that is not solved by a 12-hour inquiry or by a 6-hour inquiry, but one that asks the question that if a rapist who is associated with the police, who has assaulted his mother, his sister, his partner in the past, and not been caught, there has been no justice.
Well, see, there are some very serious questions. There are very serious questions indeed, Karunanandi. And I want to bring in Dr. Ranganathan, because Dr. Ranganathan, at the moment, we don't even know, because the theories that are abounding, I mean, there are all sorts of conspiracy theories. But the family at least believes that this person is not a lone actor, that there could be others with whom he has acted. And the questions about whether this person and his associations with the police then become that much more complicated.
No, Madhav, you're right. At the outset, It is perfectly that Ms. Mamata Banerjee
disagree with me when I say that there is such a thing called law and order in this country and the rule of law, and just who is and who isn't to be hanged is decided not by chief ministers by within 28 or 48 hours. It is to be decided by the courts of this country. But it's perfectly all right that she holds the opposing view, judging by the state of Bengal in the last 10 years. But there are two issues I like to make here, and both are very important. Number one, on the issue of apathy, bordering on diffidence, bordering on cruelty, there is no other word for it, shown by the state government and the state and the national media in general. Madhav, seldom can one feel the sense of outrage and helplessness as one did yesterday upon learning that the Chief Minister of Bengal, who is also the Health Minister, appointed the principal of the medical college where the gruesome rape had taken place. Rather than sending him leave or suspend him till the investigation was completed, she appointed him as the principal of one of the most prestigious medical colleges of India, Kolkata National Medical College. Under that man's watch, the brutal crime took place. Under his watch, his staff tried to water down the crime as suicide. Under his watch, there was inertia in registering the case. All this came out in the High Court hearing that, thankfully, through the Chief Justice, ordered this man to not take the new appointment. Has the TMC apologized for this? Has the media outraged on this? Number two, on the second issue, I cannot believe, Madhav, that our country can be so cruel towards our doctors. They are the real heroes. They work tirelessly to save millions of lives. Sometimes they work continuously for days without sleep. They earn a pittance. They cannot even protest like bankers and bureaucrats as their work comes under essential services. 1,600 of them died during COVID, saving our lives in 10 seconds. And here is the thing. 75% of Indian doctors have faced physical violence while on duty. The Health Professionals Protection Bill has been languishing for 2 years after it was tabled in the parliament. Why? Who is responsible? Will the health minister answer? Why this delay? Madhav, a nation that does not respect its doctors can never be cured.
Dr. Raghunathan, there are very, very serious questions that have to be answered by both the state government, perhaps even by the centre. In this case, of course, law and order are subject of the state. The CBI now has taken over. There are questions also whether the CBI will do justice, but this is certainly a case that has shocked the conscience of the nation. Our youngsters, our doctors, do they not deserve better in terms of their working conditions? That's ultimately the question that arises out of this. Many, many more serious questions, but for the moment, we'll have to leave it there. Priyanka Tibrewal, Dr. Raghunathan, Karuna Nandi, Sarah Shah Halim, Professor Mandal, as well as Arka Kumar Nag. I'd like to thank all of you for joining us this evening.